Hello, and this is our Christmas episode.
Yay!
We're nice and warm. I'm wearing red, as you can see.
I'm not in any holiday clothes except for my beanie.
And yeah, well, it's winter clothes. I'm repping my Rooster Teeth apparel.
I have my Sailor Moon apparel.
Fight evil. That's an awesome shirt, actually.
Yeah.
That's an awesome shirt.
Fight evil.
And yeah, so today, the whole thing is going to be a shorter episode. We're going to keep it within like 40 minutes.
Hopefully.
And unless we have a long tangent about Marvel movies.
It might happen, you never know.
Yeah, that does tend to happen for us. Anyway, so we're just gonna talk about holiday anime or like anime that kind of has like a winter element that just feel good to watch during the holidays. It could be a movie, it could be a show, it could be like a special episode in that show, and let's have this a dialogue between us and the audience. So if you have any suggestions on animes we should watch in the winter time, let us know. Mm-hmm. Because I'm pretty sure one of the suggestions would probably be Yuri on Ice.
Yuri on Ice. I forgot about Yuri on Ice. It's a really good anime, apparently.
Yeah. So let's just before we kick things off, we have +1 hourglass ×2. So I got this out of it. Yeah, so I got this hourglass that's a 3-minute and a 5-minute one.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm gonna end up becoming like the judge from the People versus OJ. It just has like a bunch of hourglasses.
A lot of hourglasses that you have now, buddy.
It's gonna be my new thing now. Anyways, before we get started on this episode, I want to give my my thanks to my lovely co-host, Kalani, who's been with us from the very first episode, even back at the Westworld podcast. Which, to be honest, now that we're doing this live, like in front of the camera now, and not just doing just the audio versions, I feel like we should just probably finish that off.
Yeah, we never actually.
At some point, we'll finish our Westworld podcast.
I don't even remember. I forgot we did the Westworld stuff.
We stopped at I still have the recording of episode 5, but I feel like we could go back and then start from episode 5 and then just continue watching. But that's something about a little later. But today, as my gratitude for my lovely assistant, not assistant, I mean co-host. I'm trying to figure out other adjectives to describe. Amazing. Johnny on the spot. Or Jenny on the spot. There you go. And this is her Christmas gift for this year.
Thank you.
And I hope you enjoy that. You could also open it right now.
I will do it. I'm curious. Do I have any hints?
It's something that's not for this season.
Okay, I'm gonna open it now. I'm scared. I don't want to. I'm gonna not ruin it. I'm gonna try my best to not ruin it. This is gonna be my my challenge.
This is gonna be
it's gone. It's gone.
Oh, it's gone. Oh, it's an ASMR now. So as. So the worst thing we could ever do is an ASMR episode. Oh my god.
I'm trying my best not to break this, but
see the thing is, I have the headphones, so I could hear every single thing that's going on, including our own breaths, and the fact that the paper is rustling a lot.
I'm scared. I don't want to rip it. I'm gonna do it.
You got it. It has to happen.
ASMR.
Oh, there you go.
Ooh, it's an Amazon box.
Well, the Amazon box is part of it. Also, I realized my address is on that, so...
It's okay, I'm facing it on the other side.
Yeah, I think that might be a good idea.
I'm gonna find the tip of it.
I don't have my knife on me.
This is a mission. This has become an actual mission. Aha! I found it. I'm gonna do it. Oh!
Oh, wait. Oh my god.
Okay. Ah! This has become a mess.
Well, that's the whole point, right? It's like whenever it's like the holidays, the Christmas, and when oh God, that's the sound that made. Oh, the pop.
ASMR. What is this? Oh my God, it's a what is this? It's a pizza towel.
Yes.
It is not for this season, but this is amazing.
It's a beach towel that happens to be a bunch of pizzas together. This is a little bit behind the scenes, but there was one time that you literally just fed me and my brother after we did a podcast with pizza.
My life has become synonymous with pizza at this point.
Just wait one day until we get like a Pizza Hut sponsorship or
Yes,
something.
that'd be. You know what? I'm gonna wear it right now. Hold on.
Okay, just to keep warm. See, there you go. Anyways, that was about 3 minutes of our time.
ASMR.
I don't know if ASMR has to. You have to during an ASMR. You have to say ASMR every single time you say it.
It's okay. ASMR.
This is awesome. Anyways,
Thank
you. Anytime. Anyways, I'm gonna turn the sands of time, and we're gonna start by just talking about animes. Okay, I'm gonna put this over here.
Hold on, I got it.
There you go. Oh, you wanted the three wise men now?
No, hold on. I need to. No.
She is Our Lady of Pizza. So is this how you're gonna go to Big Bear now?
Yes.
That's amazing. You look very warm though.
Yes,
I feel like the image of pizza and like hot pizza is just like radiating from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so animes set in the wintertime, cold stuff. So one of the things that I remember watching a lot when I was a kid, it's a lot of feel good movies. This is awesome. A lot of like Studio Ghibli stuff. Then although not part of like Christmas or anything, are just really good movies to watch during the holidays. You just kind of like these stories about like family and stuff like that. Spirited Away was a pretty good. It's a pretty good movie.
I love Spirited Away.
Would you consider that a movie to watch during the holidays with family? I feel like that would be a good way for if your family doesn't know anime, just pop in the dub version of that and like go to town with it.
I think anything Studio Ghibli related is like a good kind of like entryway into any like anime that you would want to like get into, honestly.
Right.
Just because like I feel like it's kind of considered to be versatile in terms of how like its market.
Right.
Since it originally started off in the Japanese market and then eventually it got into the American market, because I realize you might not be able to take me seriously with this pizza.
It's okay. It's not as distracting as.
Hold on, I'm gonna. Okay. I feel like also because it got bought, like they had a collaboration with Disney and it made it a lot more accessible to a lot of people in the US market. I think it's just it's a very good gateway cartoon that gets you into like other different types of genres of anime. And then the good thing about it too is that I feel like I actually had a conversation about this earlier because at my potluck. Oh, speaking of which, I did just buy pizza earlier too. Oh God, it never ends. Anyway, so another good thing about like, or a difference that I've noticed, and my friend who was in my class noticed it too, is that when you watch American cartoons, they have like centralized themes, but like if you usually look at like Japanese cartoons, anime, or anything like that, they're always centered a lot about like they always have a message behind them. And I think a lot of what Studio Ghibli has it has to do with like finding your own self-identity and family, which are very two big things that are kind of related to Christmas, kind of.
And also this like weird subtext that may not be family oriented, especially in Spirited Away. Remember the whole was it conspiracy or like
The
people
bathhouse?
like the fan theory of the bathhouse and like
I don't.
how
I
they,
think that's true though. He's mentioned it
oh,
before.
he mentioned it before.
Hmm.
Oh, okay, that like the meaning behind the bathhouse and like the switching of the names and
Oh
stuff
yeah, no,
like
it
that.
very
Yeah.
definitely was based on that.
Okay, I should look more
Mm.
into that.
To give a quick summary, there are articles written out there, and it talks
Hmm.
about how um, the whole story of Spirited Away is an allegory for we won't get flagged for this, right?
I don't think we're at that stage that we could get flagged for anything.
Okay, anyways, the
For,
story is about a girl. Like it's an allegory for young kids who get themselves involved with like sex and those type of imagery. I think that's like the best way to explain it, right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That it would the I get tongue tied right now because I think I remember hearing about this, but not really like diving too deeply into it because I
Mm.
just thought this is also a kids movie,
Mm.
but at the same time that's something I learned about Japanese, not just anime, but like movies in general, where there's deeper subtext than just what they're presenting on a storyline. So,
Mm.
and it makes sense, because Spirit Away is not just a movie for kids; it can be a movie for adults if you want to look at it in that way.
Right.
So that not to discredit the whole theory or the artistic intent of what Spirited Away meant for Miyazaki. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so it just ended up being like a kind of like a cat house essentially
Mm-hmm.
for prostitution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of his stories are like that. Like, if you ever watch Princess, have you watched Princess Mononoke?
It was I felt that movie, though not a holiday movie, still a great movie. Was a big comment about war and environmental
Mm-hmm.
issues.
Yeah. If you ever learn about Miyazaki, he's a very big environmentalist. I
Hmm.
think he, at some point, refused to come to the U.S. for an award because he didn't agree with like some of our environmental beliefs, and so he refused to.
I thought it was part of the politics of the U.S. and getting involved in Iraq.
Oh, that might be it too.
Yeah, because I think it was around the time, or was it the Gulf War?
I mean, potentially
Yeah,
I could
potentially
be
could
getting
be,
things tongue tied.
yeah,
So either
between
way, I
those
know he's a
things.
very big environmentalist. Though.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and literally there's a forest in Japan that's literally the Princess Mononoke forest.
Yeah. Oh, hey, by the way,
Yeah.
if you ever really want to, you should watch. If you ever have time to, or maybe we can do it here.
Hmm.
There's a documentary on Miyazaki.
Oh, is it? It's on Netflix, right?
I don't know if it's on Netflix anymore.
Oh,
It's called The Kingdom of something.
okay, and it was just about him making The Wind Rises, right?
I think so, and just like about his life in Japan.
Yeah.
How his schedule kind of like is always working and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. One other movie that I wanted to talk about is Maruro Hosoda's movie Wolf Children.
Mm.
Yeah. And his movie, I would recommend it because it has like a lengthy winter scene where they're all kind of like frolicking in the snow. And it was just, when I first saw it, apparently I saw it during Mother's Day because this is also a good Mother's Day kind of movie because it's about a mother dealing with two of her children that happens to be kind of like werewolves, I guess.
Mm.
Like they could change back and forth between wolves and then
Mm.
themselves as like humans,
Mm.
but also like the way that someone articulated it, and I should try to find the video so I can link it here. Is that the movie is about how a parent should let go of the child of like the child for them to pursue their what they want to do in life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, and that like that theory itself, like I don't necessarily disagree with that. That does sound like something that maybe the author may not have like maybe he wasn't consciously thinking about those things, but it came across in that way.
Mm.
You know, and it was just a very feel good movie to watch, and for these characters to kind of like evolve within the course of these 2 hours. And it has a great transition scene because it does like this lateral movement from like right to left, I want to say I'm saying that right. From right to left about like time changing. So like from year to year, you get to see these children going through school. You see the brother in the grade below the sister, right? And so each year you see them going through life and dealing with stuff in their own way.
Mm.
Yeah. Have you seen that movie?
I have not. That's why I don't know much about it.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering. I would highly recommend it. It's a both kind of a feel good like Mother's Day movie because as somebody, um, you could watch this with your mom or something like that, or
Mm-hmm.
with your parent, and it'll be a good movie. And then
I've heard
with the
about it.
winter scene, and I'm not saying it's a holiday movie per se, but because like they're set within kind of like snow,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like a good movie to watch.
I've heard about it.
Yeah.
I heard the animation for it is really good. I've never actually seen it, so I can't really say much about it. But I've heard good things about that movie. It's a movie, right?
Yeah, it's a movie.
Mm-hmm. I've heard good things about it.
All of these are very much movie oriented. So like, um, yeah. So the guy who made this movie also made The Boy and the Beast.
I don't know about that one.
Oh, you don't know that one too?
Mm-mm.
Okay. It was a very
Maybe I'll get to that one.
yeah. It was a very popular movie back in the day. It was like 2000.
Mm.
Yeah, not 2000. It was like 2015. I forgot to finish my sentence here. I also did The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, 2006.
I've heard of that one.
Yeah, and Summer Wars.
I haven't heard of that one.
Okay, and then apparently he did Digimon and the One Piece movie.
Really?
Yeah, apparently he did Digimon the movie 2000, and then One Piece, Baron Almastri, and the Secret Island.
That sounds wild. I've never.
There's a very interesting track record. Also, this is Wikipedia. I rather probably should look at IMDb. But anyways,
Wikipedia can be a reliable source sometimes.
yeah.
Sometimes.
What other shows or TV or movies that maybe I should watch in this case? Because apparently I feel like I just showed you. You should watch this movie.
I mean,
Yeah.
I sadly haven't seen too many animes or anything like that has a Christmas theme to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I explained this to you earlier off camera, but I feel like a lot of anime has like Christmas specials and stuff like that, but they don't necessarily have any like Christmas centric anime off the top of my head that I can think of. I'm pretty sure there are some. Like
I want to say if there's any like Christmas special anime if I watched when I was a kid.
I mean, the one that I can think of is like when you first mentioned like having a Christmas episode, I thought of Silent Voice.
A Silent Voice is a good movie.
A Silent Voice is a good movie.
This is a feel good movie, also very emotional.
Yeah. For some reason, I feel like there's snow in it. It's either that or it's Your Name.
I think Your Name has snow in it.
A Silent Voice, I know for sure has a summer festival because they have
The climax of the movie is around that summer festival, right?
Yeah, so like for some reason I feel like there's snow in A Silent Voice, but maybe I'm getting my movies mixed up and it's Your Name. And Your Name is just as good. So
Your Name is a really good movie.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you watch Your Name during the holidays, it still has like that feel good kind of emotion to it too.
The score
like,
is really good for Your Name.
Also, I think I remember someone said I was because I'm a big fan of Rooster Teeth, but I was listening to the podcast. One of the people were talking about when they left the theater, and this was back when Your Name came out during Christmas time, like during like the holiday
Maybe
season.
that's why we think.
Yeah, I think that's why. And then he was just like, "I'm gonna listen to the soundtrack as I drive home now."
No, the soundtrack is so good. Mm-hmm. Actually, speaking of which, this is really off topic.
Go on.
But you know what song I heard of, like, literally this morning that I was just like, this is very, like, Studio Ghibli, it's similar to Studio Ghibli, but it's not.
Right.
And it apparently has to do with a war movie. You know what song it is?
If it's a war movie, is it Grave of the Fireflies?
No, it's Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence?
Yeah.
Right,
Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. It's not an anime. It's actually a wartime film that has David Bowie in it. But the score is very, very reminiscent of his name, I believe, is Joe Hiyazashi. He's the guy who creates a lot of the Studio Ghibli scores. So, like, if you're talking about him, he did the production for Merry Go
Mhm.
Round of Life, which is one of my favorite songs, like orchestral pieces, by the way.
Merry-Go-Round of Life. Okay.
That is the theme for Howl's Moving Castle.
Oh. Okay. So I'm looking at the synopsis real quick on Google search right
I
now.
have your
So
cow as a scarf now.
it doesn't look that bad as a scarf. During World War II, British soldier Jack Sellers, David Bowie, is captured by Japanese forces and held in a prison camp by the honor-bound Captain Yanni Ryuichi Sakamoto. Uni and Gruff Sergeant Hara Takeshi uh, become intrigued with Sellers' open defiance in the face of staunchly old world ideas about cowardice and shame. Meanwhile, the traitor Lieutenant Colonel John Lawrence, Tom Connie, attempts to find common ground between British and Japanese beliefs. Okay.
So, I don't know if you want to play the song on like your like anywhere or anything like that, but the song is like, from how it sounds like, is very reminiscent of like Studio Ghibli-esque scores. And so when you mentioned anime too, I was just like, oh, that song, and it has Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas in it.
But the thing is like when you listen
soundtrack.
to, I for some reason thought I've heard the song before. I'm pretty sure I have. I'm not 100% sure if I have before or if I've heard something similar.
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds very like reminiscent of things. And so I looked into the comments, and there are a lot of people that are like, that were saying, oh, the song is just very like very ethereal, and listening to it makes it feel like you've heard it before but you might not have, and stuff like that.
And so the song is Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence, or is it?
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence.
Okay, and then so says here soundtrack for Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence was composed by Ryuichi Sakamoto, which
it's
was
the
also
orchestral version of it, but it's a really good song.
Okay.
Anyways, that's a big side note.
Big side note.
Big side note.
Sounds like something I should watch because I also like David Bowie.
You might like it. You might like it. I've never seen it before, but it might be good.
We did a tangent, but we did talk about Your Name and how Your Name kind of comes up a little bit. It's probably because it did release. I think, was it 2016?
It's been a long time.
It's been a while now. Let me see. And it came out during the holiday season, or at least for the public.
Right?
Is it?
Either way, Your Name is a very good film. The movie itself is like a summer-oriented movie because everything kind of takes place, actually, really ironically, around the same time that like the movie A Silent Voice takes place in the summer, but the release date's in the winter. And we both went to go watch it in theaters. It's a really good film.
Yeah.
It actually outbeat Spirited Away as being the top-grossing Japanese film.
Still, it beat that. Yeah. Still, they're all like really good movies to watch.
What other?
I remember something as a kid, and this is not a side note from our Christmas special question, but or just kind of like our discussion. I remember an episode of Case Closed, Detective Conan. Remember that series? There was an episode. It was episode 44. It's like 40. It was like a two-parter, I think, 44 and 45, or it could have just been one episode. But it was an episode set during wintertime.
Oh.
And Detective Conan gets kidnapped.
Oh.
And it is led to believe it was by the same people that drugged him from the first episode and made him become like the child.
Oh.
But turned out it was the mom. She was an actress, and the dad, that's the author, that kidnapped him with the help of the professor. And then it was just kind of like the episode is just kind of like, a parent prank, but also just kind of like we're reuniting for this little moment and stuff like that. And it's also set during winter, so I was just like, this is kind of like not a wholesome holiday thing, but it was just kind of like, oh, the family's all together right now, and they know the situation.
Holiday centric.
Not really holiday centric, but
I think
Detective Conan is not also a holiday thing. It's like, let's solve a holiday murder.
Oh my god, that's so weird. If you're talking about like holiday, like I feel like when I was younger, I used to watch Sailor Moon, which is kind of appropriate that I'm wearing a shirt of her right now.
An angry shirt.
She's fighting evil. But anyway,
Yeah, I know.
I think I used to have like VCR tapes of Sailor Moon, and
Mhm.
so I would. I think like over the holidays, I would repeatedly watch like this one particular episode that has her like. It's centered around doing like bracelets. I know it's really weird, but it's like.
And at what point does Tuxedo Mask come into the picture? I'm just kidding.
You know, I'm pretty sure I've seen it, but I don't remember the climax of Sailor Moon. I might rewatch it. Like, okay, I'm gonna probably rewatch the original one. Like,
You having like an old VCR you could bust out and just like, hey, I want to watch an episode of
no,
Sailor
I'm
Moon.
gonna rewatch like the old Sailor Moon online.
Oh, like the series?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've never like seen the new version of it, and everyone always says, it's not good, and I'm like, I'm gonna just watch the old one. I'm chill.
And so like they were making bracelet. Did they like making bracelets for?
It was like I think it was like a Valentine's Day one.
Okay.
Because it was like about love. And then it's like you give the bracelet to someone that you love and they become infatuated with you type thing.
Okay. I was trying to think, well, what's the conflict in that episode? And it's like, did they find out that these bracelets become cursed, and then next thing you know,
they found out that the person who started the trend of those bracelets was actually like this evil lady who had like long hair.
Kind of like a witchly
kind of, yeah.
kind of character.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was wild. I don't know. Sailor Moon is a wild.
To be fair, I feel like whatever series we watch as a kid, we figure out it's very wild.
Like you're just like, what the heck happened?
So it's like as a kid, you're just like, oh yeah, that was so cool, and then when you're an adult, you're just like, oh god, did I really watch this? But to be fair, I did grow up watching Case Closed, so like I was watching people getting murked as a kid.
Yikes, dude.
Well, to be fair, my parents I was like, oh, no cartoons, and then I was like, okay, fine. I was like, stayed up late on a Saturday watching Toonami. So like, haha, I'm watching anime. You have no idea what I'm doing.
Toonami was a really good like entryway into anime too. Now that I think about it,
Yeah,
they had a lot of like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, they did have a lot of Dragon Ball Z.
I'm like, was there a Naruto episode that was like a Christmas special?
I wouldn't doubt it.
I don't remember.
Can we talk about Last Airbender, because I'm pretty sure there was kind of a holiday episode. And is this still a hotly debated topic? Is Airbender not an anime?
I don't know, but I feel like it's gone down in history as being a really good show. I just actually watched an episode of something about like how Avatar went from being a good show to a show that lasts through time. And they said that it had to do with the characters and the development of story. Mm-hmm. And I love Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like, it was one of my favorite shows when I was growing up.
Not the movie, right? We gotta make it clear. As Americans, we didn't like the movie.
We don't talk about the movie, please.
The movie never happened.
We don't talk about the movie.
Just like how Dragon Ball, what was that movie? Dragon Ball Evolution never happened. We disavowed all of that. None of that ever happened.
Have you seen Reanime?
What's Reanime?
It's a group of people who have been doing live action anime scenes.
Let me look this up. Okay.
And they're based on the fact that there's a lot of different anime films being created in Netflix and stuff like that, but they want to they don't hit the mark necessarily. They argue that American takes on anime always kind of seem like they hit right under because they apply American generics into the anime. Mm-hmm. And then for Japanese anime, they try to do it, but they stick so close to the source material that it just comes out stilted. Mm-hmm. And then Reanime is we just want to take both of those and be a balance of in between it.
Like an intermediary. Yeah.
They're really good. Yeah. I haven't seen their Death Note one, but I did watch the Naruto one. And
there's an Avatar one.
The Avatar one has yet to come out completely, but I'm so excited for it.
Well, it looks like it's on.
What?
It says Avatar, right? Oh wait, no, it's a teaser.
Don't do that to me.
Oh, it's just it looked like it was real. And are they based in Canada or something?
No, they're based here.
Oh.
They shot the Avatar one at the Friendship Bell.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, we can watch it later.
Okay. Oh, that's something we can definitely do for behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I don't know how y'all gonna see that.
Yeah.
It's probably never. Yeah.
How about like regular Christmas film? Was there like any? I don't know if there's because anime is a very specific, like hard to talk about. Like
Yeah,
Christmas.
because I don't think Japan does Christmas like we do in the States.
I don't think Christmas.
I don't
is
think
a
Christmas is a
significant-
thing. Someone told me, or maybe I was like listening to a podcast. See, that's the thing. It's like I mix conversations and podcasts together sometimes, and that's where my messed up brain kind of misremembers. Either I was talking to somebody or I just learned it from a podcast. But apparently, I've heard that Christmas is not really a like a family thing. It's kind of like a relationship thing. So like you and your girlfriend or boyfriend go and like celebrate Christmas together, and it's not necessarily a family thing. But maybe they're just screwing with me or screwing with the people from the podcast because I'm pretty sure if it's the podcast, they're just screwing with a bunch of white people.
Oh God,
Yeah.
I actually don't know, but I feel like to us it's important because we live here. I think to other places, but like Japan doesn't like Halloween is not as significant up until like recently, and same thing. I feel like Christmas is not as big of a deal.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just don't see a lot of like anime. Like I can see if they were doing like romance genre animes, and then they were like, oh my God, holidays. You know,
just like a slice of life situation. Oh,
they're just carrying
No.
them in the snow.
they're like levitating because
There's
they're so
like
happy.
there's like the I'm thinking of Korean dramas from now. It's like instead of it's the rain, it's the snow, and they're just like
Holding your bag of candy, just going through.
just like under the butt.
This anime just popped in my mind back when I was considering doing like more of this anime stuff and just getting back into watching anime. Calvin showed me this anime called Shirobako.
I've heard of that.
And it's basically an anime about making anime. And it's really good. I've seen the first half and I need to finish the rest of it. And I'm pretty sure because not many people have been commenting on this, I might make that our second season kind of like a run because there's only been one season.
I see.
And I don't think they're going to renew it. So I think we're going to be in a good place. So we'll probably just put Shirobako until we get more of an audience that we could vote on something.
Okay. Also, I'm like looking up Christmas animes on my phone, which is why I'm on it. There is actually
Really?
an anime called...
Is it a movie or is it a show?
It's an actual anime. It is called...
How much fan service is in it? I'm just kidding.
Hold on. I will explain to you the subtext of the story as soon as I find it.
Okay, so real quick, there's an episode where they're like getting ready for the holidays. They're finishing up their series and wrapping up and for the next year. And then this main character is like kind of like thinking about like the type of anime she wants to still do with her kind of like with her group of friends, because the whole story kind of starts out with them in a high school situation of like, hey, we're in this animation club. We want to make anime. This is our passion. This is what we want to do in the future. She and our main character that we followed throughout the whole time, and she's just a PA, but she still has that aspiration to go back and work with her friends to make anime. And like all her other friends are like different careers. So like one's a keyframe artist, one is a I'm trying to remember. I might be misremembering, but while we watch the animes next season, I'll definitely remember. But like the other friend is like a 3D animator. You know what I mean? And so all these characters come together. But there was this one specific one specific episode that they're just trying to wrap up for the holiday season, and then it was like a weird thing where I wasn't sure what I was looking at, but it was a bunch of animes. I guess she was daydreaming, but it was like a bunch of animes, and she was like daydreaming and stuff like that, and everything was all blurred out because of copyright issues and stuff like that. I don't know, but it all the episode revolved around them wrapping up for the holidays and going back to their families.
I see.
And I thought it was a very good like kind of like feel good holiday episode.
Okay.
And also dealt with the awkwardness of going back home, and then if you're like a creative, like if you're trying to go into a creative field and trying to explain to your family what you do in life.
You're like, oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people that are not, well, of us that look like us, always have family that always wants us to be doctors and lawyers. And if you do anything different from that, they're like, oh, so what you doing? How's it going?
How's life?
How's life? Yeah. So, it was a good episode. You were gonna show your thing.
There is an anime called Itsudate My Santa.
Okay, go on.
It is about a girl.
Mm-hmm.
No. It's about a girl named Mai, who is a girly Santa in training, who promises to make one boy happy on Christmas Eve by making his deepest wishes come true. I don't know what that entails.
Are you sure you haven't, like, accidentally stumbled upon a hentai?
I'm pretty sure, because Toradora is mentioned in here.
Okay, good. Just making sure. His wildest dreams to come true. That sounds like an interesting... hopefully, however that anime is done, I hope it's innocent.
I don't know. K-On! Is also on here.
K-On?
Mm-hmm. I've heard of that one.
I'm trying to think. So all the animes I could think of are like stuff where they had an episode where there was snow.
Yeah.
Yeah. At one point.
Ranma is on here, which is a really old anime.
Ranma?
Sailor Moon's on here too.
Sailor Moon's on there?
Exactly. Sailor Moon S movie, Hearts in Ice.
Hearts in Ice.
Hearts in Ice.
Hearts in Ice. Okay.
They need to make it 100% clear that it's in Christmas.
Yeah. Being
like, Hearts in Ice.
Yeah, that's fair. With a name like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something we said before, Yuri on Ice.
Yuri on Ice is apparently such a good film.
You mean a show?
It's a good show. Like, for its content, a lot of people really liked it. It's very dramatic. I want to watch it.
Okay. We'll add it to the list. So, yeah, it looks like we're about wrapping up on time.
Mm-hmm.
So what animes are your favorite to watch during the holidays? Let us know in the comments below.
We tangented a lot today, sorry.
Yeah, we did tangent a lot. But then again, this was a very special episode, just to kind of like out of the blue.
Actually, good question. So, out of all the ones that we discussed, what would be at the top for what you would want to watch this holiday season?
I would say it's a fight between Your Name and Wolf Children. I would say that. I would say that it's a fight between those two. I do like Spirited Away, but I feel like that's a very summer movie for some reason. For some reason, I feel like it's a summer movie. It's probably because there's like a lot of water.
I think so. Like for me, I'm very sold on watching Howl's Moving Castle for the holidays.
Ooh, that's a good movie.
We didn't even talk about.
We didn't even talk about the movie.
No.
They end up in a very snowy place towards the end of the movie.
Do they?
Yeah. I mean, they ended up in the mountains. Yeah, there you go.
You're right. That's true. We don't have snow here. Christmas is rain.
Christmas in California is pain. No, I'm just kidding.
It's rain.
No, it's rain. It's dry. We complain about people driving. Yeah, it's so bad. Pray for us. I'm just kidding.
We don't know how to handle weather.
Yeah.
But definitely, I'm like stuck between two. It's always Studio Ghibli for me in the
It's always Studio Ghibli.
It's always going to either be Howl's Moving Castle or it's going to be Castle in the Sky.
Castle in the Sky. I should watch that movie again.
You've never watched Castle
I watched it.
Okay.
I watched it as a kid, but I feel like I don't remember much about that movie. Because it's been so long. Because of the movies that I always return with Studio Ghibli, it's always been Spirited Away. I think that was always been, and I know everybody's gonna call me like Studio Ghibli noob or whatever, but it's a really good movie. No,
why Studio Ghibli? I mean,
because
Spirited Away is so good.
I think everybody's just kind of like, oh, it's everybody's go-to. Why is that your go-to? Because it's everybody's go-to. You know,
so good.
It's a good movie. Well, so you're just trying to be a hipster and just be like, hey, I like this other movie. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Anyway. So are we? How are
we're out of time, and I think we're over time a little bit, probably about 5 minutes. So, like I said before, like the whole comment, let us know. Help this channel grow. Like and subscribe, and we're not just gonna do just anime. We're hoping to do more kind of like general podcasts. We want to do a little bit more TV and film stuff. Maybe finish that Westworld stuff that we haven't done, because Westworld is not even going to come in next year at all. At least I don't think so.
Really?
They never announced anything. So maybe sometime next summer we'll do a little bit of Westworld stuff. And then from now until maybe January, hopefully during January we will have something going.
You might get someone else in January, though.
Maybe. If not, February will be our second season. But from now until then, I'm going to do more vlogs. I'm going to be traveling. So I'm going to actually go to Japan. Japan vlogs. I haven't actually done a lot of vlogs recently. But I should start. So hopefully there's going to be more videos by the end of 2018. Maybe kind of like a wrap-up of some things that happened. We should have done that in this podcast. But anyways, that's neither here or there. Thank you. Like, subscribe, ring that bell for any notifications, and we'll see you in 2019.
Bye.
Bye. New Year, holidays.
Woo!
Of every denomination.